rarely filled the streets.
The eruption also created a small flow of volcanic material up to a kilometre from the crater. Believe it or not, it was the 500th eruption of this volcano just this year.
See, this is what can happen. You be sitting your ass up on all your hateful shit like you guys are. All y'all white people doing good, you know, living good and everything. Then you got your little Mexican people that come in and both of y'all together making havoc for us melanated people. You know, we dying and going to jail and all kind of shit, and y'all all sitting up laughing about it, joking about it, think it's funny. But see, these volcanoes all over the earth is just sitting around here that has the same type of vibrational frequencies as us melanated people does. And as sad as we're feeling all over the planet, just our feeling of despair and the universe being aware of everything and watching everything and knowing that these light ships are here and can take us up in them and get us out of the way while it destroys all y'all asses, you better think about that the next time you want to walk down the street and look at somebody not doing well. And you know that victim of all your politics and all your bullshit, you white people and you Mexicans working together. But let me let you know something. There's volcanoes all over this planet, especially here in Washington and Oregon. You have Mount St. Helens, you have Mount Hood, you have Mount Chester, you have Mount Siskiyou. All these mountains that's around this place, just because they haven't been spitting vomit fire at your ass doesn't mean that they can't. You might just want to know that and think about that. All this smoke will be burning your ass. So look at the sun right there.
Now, there's no relief in sight for the tens of thousands of people living in...
I want you to take a look at Russia and understand how I tell you that water is the best tool. Because after all this water getting all this shit and tear it up, you know what? You be forever recovering after this. Every wire, every furnace, every microwave, everything in your house is torn up, especially the electrical wiring, which is going to cost you more than anything. You cannot use your same electrical system in your house after water like this come through and get your ass. Okay, this is a very, very effective way of destroying whole cities. Okay, now any place that knows that it rains a lot there to begin with, your ass should not be trying to fuck with me. That's all to it. A place like Washington and Oregon where you already have large rainfall, you better be thinking about that real good. Because like I say to you, if I'm homeless and I ain't got nowhere to live, everybody gonna be homeless. So it'd be real easy to use the rainy season up here to run water up in all your... And this is the sun talking to you. It's saying, I know how stupid you bastards are. You let my son become homeless, and I'm going to make that circumstance be for all y'all asses up there in the Pacific Northwest. I will make sure that this water be a very, very, very bountiful abundance of a commodity for all y'all. As a matter of fact, you will have a fish living in your front room that has pulled up in that bitch with the intentions of staying. And that's what you need to know. A huge 5 feet fish could just camp out in your front room for eons.
Russia's Far East battered by the worst flooding in more than a century. Water levels have already broken a historical record for the region, and they're expected to reach the peak only by the middle of the week. Around 30,000 people have already been evacuated by emergency services, and authorities say this could be just the beginning.
Devastating floods along Russia's border with China could force 100,000 people out of their homes. Villages.
See, what happened is those white people over there, those Russians and them Chinese people work together, and they made themselves such an elaborate team with each other, keep it a secret to the world. But you better believe them imperialistic bastards, along with America, was getting ready to put us through a bunch of shit here in America. Our government with the Chinese government and the Russian government. If it wasn't for all this water shit going on and all the everything that's going on by the weather kicking their ass, we'd be up. Us melanated people and you unsuspecting white people in this country, we would be up to our ass in those military vehicles and tanks and everything by now. Believe me, they'd be raping the women, killing all the men and bringing those people from those other countries over here, setting them up real fast. That's exactly what will be going on.
Devastating floods along Russia's border with China could force 100,000 people out of their homes.
Now think about that. 100,000 refugees just because the water declared war on their ass. The water did it. There was no invading army. That's why I say to you, white man, I'm not afraid of your bullets and all that old shit, okay? If you killed me, I'd be a lot better off because my job will be done and I would not have to worry about your tactics of deprivation and all the harsh struggle that a person have to go through on this earth because of y'all asses being in control of everything below. And behold, this water, this manifestation of universal element is killing y'all asses all over the planet. And I'm just so happy to be able to see it and know that it's manifesting. All of the meditations and everything is making its way and getting my job done for me. As I lay here and wait it out for all y'all asses not to be a burden anymore. Eventually you're all gonna be fucking gone, and I'm so happy to know that. And all you white people that think I'm talking about you, that's only because you want to be white. I'm not talking about your poor ass. You work too. You just think you're so much greater than everybody because you have strength in your freaking albinism that's not even strength. It's just foolishness. When I say white men, I'm not talking about your ass. I'm talking about these wealthy people who knows this water is eating up their pocketbooks. That's who I'm talking about. The ones who knows that this strategic planning of the elements is destroying their infrastructure.
Villages in the Amur region and in the Jewish autonomous district have been engulfed. Water levels have reached 6 meters in some places.
Let's see what region they live in.
And in the Jewish autonomous district have been...
What region?
Services and authorities say this could be just the beginning.
Devastating floods along Russia's border with China could force 100,000 people out of their homes. Villages in the Amur region and in the Jewish autonomous district have been engulfed. Water levels have reached 6 meters in some places. Officials say the floods, brought on by unusually heavy rains, are the biggest to hit the area in one...
Now let me tell you guys something here in Washington and Oregon, all right? You do not want to do anything but act very divinely and very considerate and warm for everyone, and try to make sure that the place that we live in that should be raining like hell and then flooded already has not flooded. Let's keep it that way, all right? And you keep it that way by making sure that you do not piss a SAR off, because if you do, I guarantee you that just like this rain can find every other location on the earth and just empty its bowl out on it, it can do that right here too. And I'm just saying that to you guys because that's what the sun wants you to know. It's saying, I see all the bullshit you're doing trying to keep him broke because you don't like him attacking your white God. But I got news for you. I am the true God, and I will drown all y'all asses up there for fucking with my son. I just want you to know that.
120 years.
The Amur River near the Chinese border burst its banks after heavy rain. The army and emergency workers have set up more than 150 temporary shelters, providing water, hot food and medical support.
See, all this shit ain't going on here because I'm here. And that's what you should understand. It rains more here down there than any place else in this country. And then we been so lucky not to even, I ain't even gonna say nothing, you all already know.
Lies.
China is used to flooding at this time of year, but this is said to be the worst for decades. 6 regions have been badly hit by heavy rains, 3 in the south and 3 in the northeast, where scores of people have been killed.
At least 91 people have been killed by floods triggered by days of heavy rain in southern and northeastern China.
South China's Guangdong province is witnessing its worst flooding in 50 years as Typhoon Mutor brings days of...
My friend told me he was talking to some ladies online that live in China. and they had I don't know how they got on the subject, but he said that they was talking about the fact that they were all white now, and that they were not dark and no more melanin. And he said the Chinese lady told him the reason why it was like that is because the Chinese government, they just scorn blackness so much that she say, if you black in China, you don't get no job, you can't have a good house to live in, everybody treats you like shit. You know, it's wicked. It is, and that's why I'm here with the Federation, to let you guys know that that shit has not gone overlooked, and the weather is really upset. The elements are designed and incorporated by the sunlight to eradicate you freaking white people off this planet. What you guys have done has been so horrible. So, and then what you have planned with China, and all the China and Russia and America had some dirty shit planned for us black people. I'm telling y'all, they really did. And that's the reason why this water is tearing China and Russia ass up big time. Because they were going to be the ones who come here and replace us. Once we all was murdered off the earth and everything, those people had plans to come here and live and all that. You see, they started with Detroit. They got rid of the people in Detroit so damn fast, they couldn't even wait. They just started murdering them and making them disappear. And they're still doing it. They're still doing it right now.
Heavy rainfall. Torrential rains since Thursday morning have swollen reservoirs and the Suijiang River, with water covering roads and submerging croplands. Floods have destroyed dozens of homes in Huaiji, a county of about 1 million
You know how white they
people.
all are?
Guam.
While we at it, let me point out to you too, when I was in Hawaii, they doing the same thing in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for about 5 years. And do you know, every year when they had Miss Hawaii or whatever, this and that, every time they had a contest where it was about Miss Hawaii or Mr. Hawaii or whatever, every time I would watch it just to see what would happen. And the winner would always be the whitest one. All the damn time. They have what they call them hoppers, I think they call them, when you mix white and black in Hawaii. And they got some really beautiful, beautiful Hawaiian ladies that's both black and white. I mean, gorgeous. You hear me? I mean, I'm not lying to you. They be beautiful. And they are always the ones who win the Miss Hawaiian beauty pageants, the mixed ones. Or either she be 100% white. But this is the biasness that made all these people around the world change themselves from being the God-specified color of black to being white. Because the white man is truly a devil. And he's stolen all the commodities on the earth and set up his governments of wicked evilness and depriving people, making women believe that if you want to be something, you got to do all type of sexual stuff for me and this and that. All this stuff is the reason why this earth is destroying them through this water and this fire. And so all you guys out there who don't understand me and you think that I'm a devil, no, I'm not. I am a person who was sent here. I got universal backing. I have clearance from the sun to come here and tell you all that you have all been targeted for eradication because of your wickedness and your evil and your murder and your theft of everything on the planet. That's not going to be tolerated for any longer. You're going to have to stop mistreating black people and stop perpetuating whiteness being supreme and godly, because the universe wants black people on this planet, and so that's what's going to be here. Melanated people is who rules this planet, and I'm going to prove that to you by using this weather to kick your asses right off of it.
The province has been worst hit. Typhoon Utor landed here last week. The heavy rains that followed brought chaos. This bridge in Meizhou City has stood for almost 80 years. Now the struggle to protect it from rushing floodwaters. Repairing damage on this scale is likely to be a long and difficult process. Thousands of soldiers have been drafted in to help, filling sandbags, reinforcing dams, rescuing the stranded. Setbacks are likely. More rain is expected in the next few days.
What do you think about that? You know we just going into our rainy season right now, right? Too much rain.